No, it's not a nightmare. It's Sanctuary of Reality, my comic review series. Time for Church and State Chapter 26 in Cerebus issue 77. Odd Transformations. Returning from his visit to Weishaupt, Cerebus collapses onto his bags of gold coins, exhausted. He then dreams vividly of being a giant, of being a kid again, and having his mom chastise him for not wearing his hat. Cerebus flees from her and soon takes flight, passing the baby he tossed a few issues ago before hitting a pillar. He's suddenly no longer in his pope attire, but his old barbarian clothes in the forest, where he's chased by Mrs. Henrot Gutch, wearing Red Sophia's chainmail bikini. Cerebus retreats through the dark and winding woods, back in his prime minister outfit. He ends up in a field full of giant chess pieces, which begin to float about as the moon approaches his position. A voice speaks from the moon, urging him to come in. Cerebus enters the moon, finding Red Sophia waiting for him in bed, who then becomes Jaka, claiming she lied about being married and promising never to leave him again. Cerebus awakens. What will be his next move? I think this is the only time we ever get to see Cerebus's mother on screen. It's interesting to note. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of allegories in this issue. I know I made it clear that I am not very good at deciphering them, but it just seems to me that this issue is mostly random images, meaning nothing, as dreams most often do. The only real difference is the chess pieces and the moon appearance. That's actually some foreshadowing. Everything else, though, it just comes across as Cerebus' tired mind trying to work through his issues with his childhood, with his romantic life and such like that. I'm not a big fan of the dream stuff, I have to admit. I mean, this is a good issue despite that. It's very clear and straightforward, and artistically it's great. But there's obviously no narrative, and there's not meant to be, really. As Dave said, you can't really document the life of a character in such detail as he's trying to do and completely ignore their dreams, considering how much time we all spend sleeping. I actually especially love the final joke of the issue. The only real actual joke in the issue, aside from the humor of Henrot Gutch's Red Sophia and maybe the baby appearance. I can see why some people were annoyed by it, especially since it's one long 3.5-page gag. I won't spoil it, but it's a very specific type of humor, one that the book hasn't really done much with before, aside from references to it. But it is a highlight of the issue, or a low light if you're so inclined to disagree. Next time, Cerebus dreams on.